is for you guys to be playing at home these first 2 rounds of the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's a big advantage to play at home and play on our home courts and have our fans out here supporting us. We're used to playing here every single day. We're comfortable here. It's an atmosphere that we're very comfortable in. So I think it's really exciting that we're able to host, and that was a goal that we had set in the beginning of the year. So once we reached that just kind of gave us that extra push this last couple weeks to just really take advantage of this opportunity that we have and hopefully make it to Tulsa.
You've been around the program now for 3 years now. What's been the key for y'all this season and kind of taking that next step?
I think what's been really important is our spiritual aspect is really, really big this year. All the girls get along really, really well, and we're not afraid to call each other out and afraid that people are going to get defensive or upset or anything. I think that's been really helpful because we're able to build each other up with that, and that's just kind of during the whole season, whenever we've had ups and downs, we've been able to come out on top of that. And I think the biggest thing is we're having people step up this year, and it's not just one person. It's been, every single person down the lineup has stepped up at their given time, and it's been really big because they've been able to pull us through a match here or there or something like that, whereas last year we didn't really have that. We'd be super, super close in a ton of matches, and then when the time came to either kind of fall down a little or step up and go get the match, we kind of fell short of it. And this year I think we're not afraid and we're going to get it, and I think that's made the biggest difference.
How motivated were you to get back on the court after the ending of last season with that UVA match, just being right there,
Yeah.
team so close to making the Sweet 16, where we just kind of like, oh my God, I just want to get back on the court so bad right now?
Yeah, it was definitely a tough loss, especially how close it was, and we could feel it, and we knew what a great upset that would have been to beat UVA and then move on to the Sweet 16. And I just knew that if we could just get a little bit better, and mentally, emotionally, physically, and everything. And we didn't even know how good the freshmen were going to be coming in and how competitive they're going to be, and they've been super big helping us with a lot of our wins. So I think that motivation helped, and then we had a big fall. A lot of people were making huge strides and improvements, and then even throughout this whole spring, even though it's tough to day in and day out at practice, it's tough to kind of improve on little things, but I think we did a really good job of just kind of each week moving forward and taking our wins and losses and kind of just using them in the best way we could to learn from every single one.
You feel like you played sort of a big leadership role for the team this year, just being a junior, and with all these freshmen coming in, was that something that was sort of on your mind, or that Kevin talked to you about, like, hey, you got to step up here and help lead all these newcomers and showing them what South Carolina tennis is all about?
Yeah, I knew that being older and being one of the oldest ones, we have a really young team, I was going to have to kind of be that leader, one of the leaders at least. And I think for me, one of the best ways to be a leader, I think, is by showing them how they're supposed to act and how things are supposed to be. I'd say I'm pretty vocal as well. I can be pretty assertive with myself. I'm pretty confident, so I don't have an issue calling people out if I have to. But, we've all done a really good job this year of just kind of everyone being on the same page and holding ourselves to that high standard. And I think, I talked to Kevin about it a little bit, but I think he just kind of expects some of us older girls to just kind of show everyone and set the tone, set the example when we're out there at practice. And it's not really, I think it kind of comes naturally, so I don't think it's not been weighing on my mind too much. Just a couple times you got to be like, okay, that's, if something happened in a match for me, I'm like, I can't do that. I can't show the freshmen that that's okay, kind of thing. So that's something that I've had to personally work on.
Is there anything different you have to address with this team when it comes to NCAA postseason, just in terms of it? Hey, it's either win or go home now? Is that something you have to even talk about with the freshmen, or just getting through the SEC and just going through a season? Do they all pretty much get it at this point?
They all pretty much get it. Our freshmen are an extremely competitive bunch, and we've not had an issue with competitiveness or feistiness this entire year, and I think that was something that was a big difference last year. We'd always have a bunch of talks about competing and making sure you don't, you're there for every single match, and we really haven't had to talk about that much this year, and I think that's big. I think everyone knows how big this tournament is and what a great opportunity is to play at home and be able to get out there and make it to Tulsa. So I don't think that's an issue at all. We haven't really had to talk about that. I think everyone's ready to go.
Coach just kind of talked about competitiveness, and you've touched on it. Has that now become just a point of pride for you guys to be the most competitive team out there?
Yeah, definitely. And especially playing in the SEC, I think that is an attribute that teams have to have. If you're not competitive, then you're in the wrong conference. And I mean, we're not the most talented on paper. You know, we don't have some of the top recruits in the country, but I mean, we've kind of proven that that doesn't really matter if you have toughness and grittiness and competitiveness and fieriness down the line, then, you know, you can get anything done. And I think a lot of our matches this year have shown that. We've won a couple tough 4-3 matches just by out-toughing our opponents, and I think that if we can just bring that into the NCAA tournament, that we're going to be able to make it pretty far.